Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here. It's bringing the showdown sleep between the USA and France on Fanduel. There's some big contests here, $15K to first $7 entry tournament. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on DraftKings. I did just upload my video breaking down the final two-game Olympic basketball main slate. If you guys want to check that out on DraftKings instead of just the showdown slates here on Fanduel. If you are interested in signing up for premium content, I offer that on patreon.com. 3 different packages. An esports package that includes Call of Duty and CSGO. NBA package that includes Olympic basketball and Summer League. And an NFL package that includes preseason. In preseason, we had a really good night tonight. Hoping to keep it going into next week. If you're unable to watch my YouTube videos, I also upload on Apple Podcasts. I'll have a link down below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you could take a minute or two, leave a 5-star rating and review. That would help me out a ton. And finally, I want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring this episode. So let me refresh it again. But right now, I don't see the Olympic basketball stuff out yet. No, it's not up yet. But I would expect it to be up later tonight, if not early tomorrow. So if you guys are not familiar with PrizePicks, there's a few different ways you can play for basketball. Number one is you take over/under on fantasy points, or number two, you can take over/under on like straight up points, assists, rebounds. You can mix and match sports too. They literally, again, every single sport you can think of. So if you guys want to try it out, you can sign up, use the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word. I'll have a link down below. You get a 100% match up to $100. Basically, you deposit using my code, and $100, you'll get a free $100 to play with. All right, guys. So before we talk about players and their prices for the showdown slate, we can quickly look back up here from the last showdown slate. The last showdown slate just finished out of the money. One with Patty Mills, KD, Nick K, Jack Landale, and Bam Adebayo. So I was a little bit worried about the bigs in this game because, again, the USA obviously like playing small ball. So Nick K and Landale had, fine games, but were both a little bit disappointing. Bam Adebayo lost minutes too, and the USA just went very small. Patty Mills and KD were both great at the top. Was a little bit surprised how early the Australian guys got pulled. Again, it was like a 4.5 minutes left, 20-point game. I know they had a slim chance of winning, but they waved the white flag way too early. I was a little bit shocked about that one. But yeah, that's it for the look back, guys. So going over the Vegas odds here, it's a 175.5 over under, and USA are 12.5 point favorites. So we'll start off the France side. At the top, we have Rudy Gobert at 14K. So Rudy Gobert has actually had back-to-back pretty solid games. Here, let's go over to. Hold on, I need to go back to France really quick. I thought I had that up too, so give me 1 second. Let me bring up France in their most recent game. So in their most recent game, Rudy Gobert, 30 minutes, 9 points, 16 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks. However, my worry is USA, again, they like going small. So Bam Adebayo will start, but USA are going to push the pace. And Rudy Gobert struggles against small ball teams. We saw it with the Clippers this year in the playoffs, right? He really kind of looked lost out there. So that is my worry with spending $14K for Gobert. Now, the positive I will say is this is FanDuel, and you'll get 3 points for steal and a block. And Rudy Gobert is a very good shot blocker. So can he pay off this salary? Can he be in the winning lineup? Yes, it is possible. Again, I voiced my concerns, though, with the USA wanting to go small. I just think he could lose a couple minutes. His first game against the United States where they did win, he had a pedestrian game. I think they actually have it up here. They have the one game up here, against France. 26 fancy points. Again, kind of forgettable. Now, Evan Fournier has been their most consistent player. He's at 13.5K. I think he is very safe. If we look at their most recent game, so he played 28 minutes. He did foul out, though, so don't be super worried about it. In other competitive games where he stayed out of foul trouble, he's been playing about 35 minutes. He is going to be their top option on offense. Now, yeah, he can lack a little bit in the peripheral stat department, but he's going to shoot the ball a ton, and they're going to need his offense if they're going to want to pull off this upset here. So I do like Evan Fournier. I think he's one of the better spin-ups in the slate for sure. Also kind of like Nando De Colo. So I mentioned this on DraftKings, like, hey, He had an awful game last game. He got in a little bit of foul trouble. No one's going to play him. He bounced back in a massive way, 32 minutes, 25, 7, and 5. Now, the minutes have been a little bit up and down for him, but I would think he pushes for close to 30 minutes in this one. Again, a guy that can stuff a stat sheet, and I don't think he's going to be super popular. Not a very well-known name, obviously not in the NBA right now. He was formerly in the NBA, so I do like DeColo as well. I'm fine pairing DeColo and Fournier together if that's the route you want to go. Now, scrolling down a little bit more, so guys like TLC and Yabusele just feel a little bit overpriced. TLC should come off the bench and play around 20 minutes. Not completely out of play, but there's one guy below him that, it's hard for me to prioritize TLC over Nick Batum at 9K. So that's kind of the reason why I don't love TLC as much. Yabusele at 10K will probably start and play around 15 minutes. Same thing I'll say, though. It's hard for me to prioritize these two over Nick Batum. So yeah, Nick Batum at 9K really, really stands out. I think this is just a clear misprice. Played 33 minutes last game against Slovenia, played 38 the game before. I think he's going to play, if he stays out of foul trouble, around 35 minutes. He is a do-it-all guy. Now, sure, he's probably not going to be their top guy in offense, but he's going to play big, big minutes, and they're going to need him out there on defense. So Nick Batum is definitely my favorite value play by far here on France. The only other guy I mentioned here is Thomas Hurdle at 8.5K. So he's been their backup point guard. He's been averaging 15 to 20 minutes on the bench. Now, the previous game where DeColo got some foul trouble and struggled a bit, Hurdle played 20-plus minutes and had a solid game. Now, he'll be productive when he's out there. So if you're fading DeColo, then I think you can roll the dice on Hurdle. Right? I wouldn't play them both together. Definitely negative correlation. But, I think Hurdle is worth a look as a contrarian value play. And I'm not going to get to anyone else. Fall, Nick Ntilikina. I don't think anyone else really plays significant minutes for me to consider them. So let's move on to the United States here. And at the top, Kevin Durant at 15.5K. Once again, my favorite play on the United States side. So last game, we'll take a look at it. He played 30 minutes, but did lose some minutes because of the blowout. In the first half, he played almost the entire half. That's when USA were trailing. So if this game is close or they're trailing, KD's probably going to play about 35 minutes. He's going to be their clear top option on offense. Obviously, a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. So really like KD. Yes, he's expensive, but I think he's worth it. He'll be very popular as he should be. Now, the tricky part here is kind of the next tier of guys for USA. So we have Drew Holiday, 14K, Booker, 13, Tatum at 12, Lillard, 11.5, Levine at 10.5. So let's take a look at these guys' minutes. So Booker and Drew Holiday have really, played well last couple games. Drew Holiday, 29 minutes, went for 11, 8, and 8. Devin Booker, 28 minutes, went for 23 and 1. With these two playing well, Damian Lillard has kind of struggled. So going back and looking at their pricing, again, Holiday and Booker are a lot pricier than Dame. So could you try to buy low on Dame here at 11.5? You can. Dame can definitely bounce back. He really hasn't had a big game yet so far in the Olympics, but we know it's there, and the price has dropped. So Dame, I think, is an interesting kind of buy low candidate. As far as Drew Holiday versus Devin Booker, if I had to pick between the two, I actually think I would lean Drew because he does more of the peripheral stats. So even though he's a little bit pricier, I think I would lean Drew over Booker. Now, Tatum at 12K feels a little bit pricey for a guy that probably only plays around 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. He played 19 minutes last game, went for 9, 3, and 2. So, yeah, Tatum, I feel like will be a little bit over-owned. Zach LaVine at 10.5 is going to come off the bench and play around 20 minutes. Again, I think he's playable. If he gets hot, he can be in the winning lineup. Bam Adebayo at 9.5. So, did lose some minutes last game. He only played, 14 minutes. But that first game against France, he played 25. So we know France is a big team. Maybe Bam plays a couple more minutes. So if Bam's going to play 20 to 25 minutes, I think he does look like one of the better values. Now, if they kind of limit his minutes like they did last game, obviously he's not going to look as good of a play. So it really kind of depends on how many minutes you think Bam plays. Again, I will mention he did play 25 minutes the first time they played France. And two other guys I'll mention, Middleton and Draymond, because they'll be in the rotation. Don't expect Jeremy Grant, Keldon, or JaVale McGee to play. So Middleton played 21 minutes. Draymond Green got in some foul trouble, played 18 minutes. Draymond's just going to be out there more for defense. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, and you do get +3 for points and steals, or for blocks and steals, but I still don't love it. I think I would rather go to Middleton. I think he just has a little bit more upside, but definitely neither of these guys are must-plays. And again, Grant, Johnson, McGee, don't expect those guys to play. So going over roster construction, I think the optimal way to go is to go Kevin Durant in the captain and the MVP spot, I should say. And you don't have to go KD in the MVP spot, but I think that is definitely optimal. Now, looking at the rest of the guys here, I think I want to get to at least one of the main guards from France, whether it be Fournier or De Colo. Again, you could play both, but I think I would try to get to one of these two. I think Fournier is going to be a lot more popular. So if you wanted to go De Colo over Fournier, I don't hate that. But if you go Fournier, what does that leave you with? 10K remaining. If you throw De Colo in there too, going to be a little bit difficult. But again, Batum, I think, looks like the best value. If you go down there, you could fill that out. If you just want to go one of the France guys and Nick Batum and then fill it out with two other USA guys, that's fine too, right? It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get to like Drew and Booker if you do go this route, right? If you go Drew Holiday, then you're probably going to have to basically take a zero with someone. So like maybe more optimal would be go to look at those cheaper USA guys, maybe like a Dame, a Levine, a Bam Adebayo, maybe even a Chris Middleton if you want to get risky. But yeah, I think what I want to do again is I probably want to play KD in the MVP spot. I want to get to at least one of those main France guards, whether it be Fournier or De Colo, and I think I want to play Batum for value. You guys can fill out the other two spots from there. But I think that's where I'm at for the Showdown slate on FanDuel. That's going to do it for the video today, guys. Thanks again. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.